Greeting you a good afternoon mula dito sa Dasmariñas Arena in Cavite City for game number 3 of our 2023 CORSA Tires Asiabasket Dasmariñas Championship. Third of 4 games na nga, 2 down, 2 to go. As we hear the call-outs for both these teams, the Shawarma Shack and the Benilde Blazers going up for game number 3. Both these teams nga undefeated so far in our tournament. Jaime Mendihar, kasama si Coach Mark Dandan bringing you the action. And I know, Coach Mark, you were here first day. How has been the Dasmariñas experience so far?
So far, games have been wonderful. Teams have been very competitive. But again, we're getting into the middle of our tournament. Nagkakaalaman na kung saan ang lulugar itong mga team natin ngayon. And today, one of these teams will absorb their first loss in this tournament.
Very interesting for both teams wanting to get in a better position heading into the playoffs, and ayaw mo naman na maging mapunta ka pa sa alanganin later on in this tournament. And let's now focus on these two teams that are playing here today. Shawarma Shack 2-0 to begin this season, and best start so far para sa kanila here in Asiabasket.
In their second iteration itong Shawarma Shack, they are currently unbeaten. Again, tulad ng sinabi mo, their best start in their Asiabasket history. Shawarma Shack, veteran-laden, maraming familiar names. For those who fans of Philippine basketball, I'm sure a lot of these names dito sa Shawarma Shack will be very familiar to you.
Dito naman, of course, Benilde Blazers among the pre-tournament favorites. You did see them in first day. What did you like for them so far?
Well, they don't look like a college team to me. And that's because of their head coach, Coach Raiko Toruman, na alam natin lahat, was the head coach of the OG Gilas Pilipinas team way back then. So he's bringing his experience and his knowledge to this relatively young group, pero very promising because there's a lot of talent involved in this lineup.
For Shawarma Shack nga looking to go 3-0 at ayaw naman magpahuli. Siyempre ng Benilde Blazers and wanting to get a better position heading into our quarterfinals matchups. Shawarma Shack just looking back in their 2 victories so far in this tournament. One against the CORSA Tires and Dasmariñas Monarchs, and very convincingly and really showing us that they are no pushover here even for the Benilde Blazers team.
And that they did. They played very well. Again, buoyed by their veterans, guys like James Castro, Domark Matiliano, who's been leading them in scoring 22 points per game. You know, these guys are known scorers in their previous teams, and they're working together now to prepare Shawarma Shack to their great start.
Shawarma Shack nga, this is their best start in the Asiabasket so far. They missed the playoffs, unfortunately, in that Kuala Lumpur version of our Asiabasket, but looking to redeem themselves here in this tournament. Dito naman tayo sa Benilde Blazers, of course, that 1-0 start. But sorry, let's focus muna dito sa best player of the ball game for 2 games in a row, Domark Matiliano of the Shawarma Shack.
Again, Domark Matiliano, excellent scorer, left-handed, very good shooter. You know, he's averaging 22 points per game. That's number 4 in the league overall, and he's a known quantity. You look back at statistics, and this guy, Ik Akpuru, the man in the middle para sa Shawarma Shack. He's been holding down the fort, averaging 13.5 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and a block. He's not the tallest world import that we have here in the tournament, but he's one of the hardest working.
The other side naman for the Benilde Blazers, we have their previous game winning against the Dasmariñas Monarchs, and 75-68, putting the hometown team Dasmariñas in a peculiar position, though we will still be seeing them later on. 1-0 nga for to begin their season. Rebounds, almost everything going in the favor of the Blazers.
They dominated that game early. They led even by 17 points. Then the Dasmariñas Monarchs made a run, made the game out of it, cut down the lead down to 2 points thanks to guys like Frankie Johnson. But at the end, it was Tony Inot who hit a couple of big threes to really put that game away. And talking about the 3-point shots, the Benilde Blazers only shot 13% from the 3-point line. They shot 5 out of 37. But this guy, why not? Tony Inot scored 19 points, hit 2 big threes towards the end in the last 3 minutes to really put away the Monarchs.
Of course, Inot, no stranger dito sa ating Asiabasket, and supplementing itong si Tony Inot in that particular matchup is their import, Eman Ojula.
Eman Ojula, again, another household name. He's not a current member of this Benilde Blazers team, pero he's going to be an important member for moving forward for them.
And he is with our Enros Fernandez for an interview.
I'm with Emma Ojula from the Benilde Blazers. Eman, the team came from a win the other day. Now, how have you guys been, preparing for this next game?
Actually, from our first game, we believed, even though we won, we still believed we played bad because we had many wide open shots that we did not make. So our mindset is to come out today, come out stronger, and hopefully we get the W also.
Eman, Benilde doesn't always get an import. Now, how are we looking forward from a bigger game from you in today's game?
Well, as a matter of fact, when I joined the team, I love system basketball. So playing under a national team coach, it's a great opportunity for me. So I'm not coming here to prove a point or score or do the big goal. If that will be my job today, no problem. But as much as possible, I try to complement the locals because at the end of the day, they will be the one to play in NCAA. So I'm just doing my role.
Eman, we wish you and the team the best of luck. Back to you, panel.
Thank you, and Ross and Eman just doing his role here for the Benilde Blazers and complementing this team in this tournament.
And that's the veteran in Emon Ojula. He understands his role here. It's not to score 30 points and grab 25 rebounds, but really to be that complementary piece for the rest of this young Benilde Blazers squad.
Of course, we'll take a short break and we are back starting lineups for both these teams.
At guard number 1, Nino Ibanez. Also at guard number 13, James Castro. The other guard number 30, Mick Gibara. At forward number 39, Jamil Gababan. And center number 21, Chibeze Ike. Head coach for Shawarma Shack is Cesar Mabasa. And now for your Benilde Blazers. At guard number 17, Jomel Ancheta. Also at guard number 39, Tony Inot. At forward number 77, Anton Eusebio. The other forward number 0, Matthew Oli. And at center number 6, Eman Ojula. Head coach for Benilde Blazers is Coach Raiko Roman. This is a 2023 CORSA SARS Asiabasket Dasmariñas Championship. Sulong na sulong pa, lungsod ng Dasmariñas.
And we begin game number 3. Tip-off of the game is brought to us by CORSA Motorcycle Tires dominate the streets. This matchup between the Shawarma Shack and the Benilde Blazers. Wala pa rin dito sa Dasmariñas Arena in Cavite. Interesting matchup we have here, Coach Mark. Battle of undefeated teams.
Not only is this a battle of undefeated teams, you've got a team full of hopefuls trying to make their team A, talking about the Benilde Blazers, and you have the veterans, the professional basketball players of Shawarma Shack.
The youth versus, I guess, experience, as some would put it. Early basket here para sa Blazers, 2-0. Bawi naman agad sa kabila.
Oh, that specialty of the house for Jamil Gabawan. Anywhere inside the paint, Jamil Gabawan has that soft touch.
2-2, still early in this ball game. Strong to the hoop, able to finish. Jola with that offensive rebound. The trap. 8 to shoot here for the Blazers. Enot able to finish with that left. Tracks it down, a second to shoot. As the Blazers will run out of time. Shot clock violation for the Black Shirts.
Oh, excellent interior defense there by Shawarma Shack, especially Chiboise Ike, just holding his ground, putting his hands up, preventing an easy shot from Jula and from Enot.
Speaking of college basketball, Ike is a familiar name din para sa ating lahat.
Oh, of course. If you follow the early teams of Coach Tab Baldwin, the Ateneo Blue Eagles, Chiboise Ike was the rock in the middle for them.
The rock is a good reference, no, para dito kay Ike. Three-pointer. First three-pointer of this game, courtesy of Shawarma Shack. That was Castro, nailing that three-pointer.
Good to see James Castro healthy after a long bout with his plantar fasciitis. So, you know, one of the quickest guys with the basketball here on the floor.
Team captain nga for the Shawarma Shack. Three-point advantage for the White Shirts. Three-pointer on the other end para kay Ancheta would miss. Ganda ng arena dito, Coach Mark. Just have to say, I know you've been here last Friday, but seeing how, you know, yung atmosphere dito, here in the Dasmariñas Arena, really a sight to see. As Enot, aggressive, and Guevara, no choice but to just give up that foul.
Oh, that's a great move by Tony Enot to draw that foul, initiating the contact with the body bump and taking the hit, almost making it also.
Of course, Tony Enot was part of that previous Asiabasket tournament that we had in Las Piñas. Wasn't sporting the Benilde Blazer uniform the last time around, but this time picking up where he left off. Performed great for CORSA Tires in that previous Las Piñas championship. Dito naman sa Dasmariñas, really showing his class.
And not just Tony Enot for the Benilde Blazers, but also remember, they also have Justin Sanchez coming off the bench, one of the leading scorers for last Asiabasket tournament.
Yeah, I remember watching yung CORSA Tires versus Blazers na matchup, and Justin Sanchez really kind of introducing himself to the Blazers na this is who you are getting.
And I'm sure the Blazers are very happy to have Justin Sanchez in the saddle finally.
Bit of a slow start here for the Blazers, though. 7-2, 5-point advantage. But Anqueta getting that basket, trimming this lead down to 3.
So far, the veterans of Shawarma Shack have really dictated the pace, not allowing Benilde to run. And as I say that, they get a turnover and off to the races.
Another foul given here by Shawarma Shack. Basket will count para kay Anqueta. 6 points now for their guard.
Again, Ancheta with a very similar move sa ginawa ni Tony Enot earlier. Taking the bump off the Euro and finishing despite the contact by Gabawan.
Showing that, yes, we are college players, but in terms of physique, strength, can play with the best of them. Chance to hit this bonus free throw to tie this ball game at 7 with still 6:55 left in our first. Does exactly that. 7 points so far para kay Anqueta. All the 7 points actually of the Blazers.
Yeah. And not what probably Coach Raiko Toroman had in his notes to be his leading scorer, because Ancheta is known more for his defense and playmaking. But, you know, any points that you get from your lead guard is always a bonus.
By the way, that three-point shot earlier was brought to us by CORSA Motorcycles. Tires dominate the streets. So maraming salamat po sa CORSA. Primary sponsor here in Asiabasket. As Inot, keyhole jumper will work.
Tony Inot just very nonchalantly pulling up, fading away from top of the key.
Benilde now taking this 2-point lead after trailing by 5 earlier, using this 7-0 run. Go to Ike, 8 to shoot here para sa Shawarma Shack. This offensive foul will be called against. This is Guevara, whistled for that foul. 3-team foul so far para sa Shawarma Shack, and Benilde Blazers medyo disiplinado pa. No team foul so far for the Black Shirts. Straight away 3. That will work para kay Eusebio.
And just like that, this is a 10-0 run by the Benilde Blazers after that very slow start. Ancheta triggering their offense, but right now they're clicking on all cylinders.
Cheta nga setting that tone, and now his teammates waking up their offense as well. Ike looking to attack, will lose the basketball. Making a move. Would get that basket to go. It's James Castro. At Inot on the other end. Parang kakapikit ko pa lang, Coach Mark. Doon na tayo sa kabila kaagad.
Oh, that's the quickness of this young team by the Blazers, really trying to force the pace and get running over the older Shawarma Shack guys.
It's Ollie this time, although unable to control that leather. Almost another fast break opportunity for the Blazers. Still leading by 5, 14-9. Make that 3 now. After Ubuyes gets that layup to go.
No, so far, Shawarma Shack doing a great job, staying in pace with the Benilde Blazers. But this is not their game. They have to rely more on their half-court execution. Take advantage of scorers like James Castro. And coming in is Domark Mataliano. So they have these two studs who can really take over the game.
So take another look at that drive off the game brought to us by Jabber Motocom. Makes ride more fun. Inot once again. Strong to the hoop. Gets that finish. Another end one para sa Blazers. This time courtesy of Tony. Why not?
Why not, indeed. Just blowing by the defense of James Castro.
That move of the game brought to us by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets, and dominating so far are the Blazers after trailing by as much as 5 nga, 7-2. Going on this now 14-4 run. Make that 15-4 now after that bonus free throw conversion of Tony Inot. Showing why we mentioned nga that the Blazers are one of the pre-tournament favorites sa ating Dasmariñas Championship.
You want to say that they're the favorites just because they have Tony Inot, Justin Sanchez, and the rest of the guys. But the man on the bench is probably their biggest advantage, Coach Raiko Toroman.
Talaga namang yung pedigree ng coaching na meron tong Blazers, wouldn't be surprised that this team really is competitive. Ojula underneath, gets his first 2.
What a start right here for the Benilde Blazers. Really getting up and down the floor. Something they weren't able to do against the Dasmariñas Monarchs. They only had 10 fast break points their whole game. But now they're getting out on the break early and often.
Just yun nga yung victory nila sa Monarchs. They did come up with that victory. Dominated most of the numbers as we talked about pre-game. But syempre, if you are the Blazers, you would still look to improve on what was lacking in that ball game, as you pointed out, fast break. Maybe a key focus for them in this ball game. Shawarma Shack calls for some time, trailing by 8, 19-11. Action resumes here in the first quarter. Still 3:57 left. The Blazers leading by 8, 19-11. So take a look at this move of the game. Brought to us by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets.
Oh, James Castro in a spin move. It's like saying Michael Jordan in the fadeaway. That's James's favorite move.
As Ike gets that put back to go. Cleaning up. 6-point lead now para sa Blazers. Shawarma Shack off that timeout, trying to address the momentum built here by the Benilde Blazers early in this ball game. Liwag now against Ike. 10 to shoot for the Blazers. Ollie. Strong that three. Liwag trying to fight for it. Gives the Blazers another opportunity. Enot from the corner won't go. Look at Ollie hustle for that rebound, but will lose that basketball. Shawarma Shack gets possession.
This is something that the Benilde Blazers really struggled with in their first game against the Dasmariñas Monarchs. When the Monarchs dropped into the 2-3 zone, that's when they really started to make a run because of Benilde's inability to hit the three-point shot. 5 of 37 in their last game.
Nice tap there from Liwag. Fast break opportunity once again for the Blazers, and Justine Sanchez. Talked about him earlier. Off that bench. Still a potent weapon here for the Blazers. Pass ahead for a 2-on-1, and able to convert there is James Castro. No spin move though.
James Castro in the open court with momentum is very hard to stop regardless kung mag-spin move man o hindi.
21-15. Still 2:43 left in just our first period. Liwag lose that basketball, but Blazers would retain it on the baseline.
Again, the difficulty in executing against the zone. Still a problem here for the Benilde Blazers. And not able to really find those gaps and try to attack it. Si Ike Akpuro coming in.
Ike Akpuro. It's one of the players that we were talking about nga na inaasahan din itong Shawarma Shack. Liwag will miss underneath, unable to extend the 6-point advantage for the Blazers, 21-15. Kakapasok lang, Akpuro. Long jumper will get that shooter's bounce.
So we have Chibose Ike and Ike Akpuro for the Shawarma Shack.
A lot of eyes and case para sa Shawarma Shack. Ordonio also checking in this ball game as Liwag, baby hook inside, too strong. Akpuro with a board, and he will run it for Shawarma Shack. Sidestepping his way through. Acrobatic layup would miss. Ordonio pulling up. Gets that jumper to go. First 2 points para kay Kobe Ordonio.
Well, that's big because Kobe Ordonio struggled mightily in their first game. He missed a lot of shots in their game against the Dasmariñas Monarchs. So that's a good sign for Coach Rico and the rest of the coaching staff.
Shot blocked by Sanchez. Great defense shown there for their lengthy forward. And he will take it all the way. Almost another end one for the Blazers. Instead, will be rewarded with 2 free throws.
And that's a great one-on-one move by Justine Sanchez. Going in and out in his favorite sidestep.
So take a look at our Fiber Blaze assist of the game. Of course, brought to us by Fiber Blaze. Nothing beats local.
No, imagine getting guys off the bench in the quality of Justine Sanchez and former NCAA MVP, Allen Liwag. So, you know, you understand that the future is very bright for the Benilde Blazers come NCAA season 100.
Talagang, I bet the other NCAA teams scratching their heads na paano ba nabuo itong Benilde Blazers team na to. A lot of names that they have been able to recruit in that upcoming class nga of season 100 for NCAA. Talagang, tas dito pa, nagpapainit pa dito sa ating Asiabasket.
Papahinog pa dito, no? But I'm sure that's the Benilde Blazers are not stopping with with the current crop of recruits that they have here. I'm sure Coach Charles Chu and the rest of the management will have more players coming in.
Akpuro, spinning baseline. White shirts would keep it with 0.8 seconds left on their shot clock.
So far, it's all been James Castro leading the way. para sa Shawarma Shack. We haven't seen or heard from Domark Mataliano so far.
Jumper won't go, and the 24-second shot clock violation will be called here against Shawarma Shack. Trailing by 7, 24-17. Less than a minute left in the first quarter. So take a look at that block, courtesy of Decathlon. Defensive play of the game, Justin Sanchez, showing us he can do it in both ends. On the reverse, Vanguardia.
That's a great backdoor cut by Vanguardia. And an excellent pass from Alan Liwag.
Talagang yung chemistry dito ng Blazers, very evident at the beginning of this ball game. Amuyan nila and knowing where each other are. Dito naman babawi, Shawarma Shack with their first and one. Picking up where he left off sa kanilang first two games is Domark Matiliano.
Oh, Mataliano again, he's very strong going to his left. He's left-handed, obviously. And not only is he a great shooter, but as he saw, he can put the ball on the floor and finish.
Sabi nga natin, the Blazers nagpapahinog pa dito sa Asiabasket. Itong si Domark Matiliano, I would say, talagang matagal nang
Matagal nang hinog.
Able to cut this lead now to 6, 26-20, not allowing the Blazers to create a big cushion in just the first quarter. Go to Ordonio using that Sanchez pick. Floater in the lane, too strong. Akpuru corrals it. Runs it for Shawarma Shack. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Akpuru inside. So foul will be whistled here against the Blazers. Just their second team foul. So a bit of a wise foul. Try to stop this offensive possession para sa Shawarma Shack to end the first quarter. Akpuru. 4 to shoot now. Cross is over. Time will run out. That basket would not count para kay Akpuru. We might want to look at it, but in terms of where we were sitting, that basket occurred after the buzzer. Maybe about half a second too late. The officials would have a look at it just to make sure.
I feel like there was one pump fake too many for Akpuru. But regardless, that's a great take. Kulang lang talaga sa oras.
He was aware that the time was running out and knew that he wanted to make a move before the end of the quarter. Officials' initial call was that that basket did not count. By the way, would like to once again thank CORSA Tires. Dasmariñas, sorry, is being shown at YouTube, Facebook, Tap Sports, and of course sa Blast TV app. So download na po kayo ng Blast TV app to get a chance to view and watch our 2023 CORSA Tires Asia Basketball Championship. CORSA Tires, of course, is the official partner of the 2023 Asia Basketball Championship dito sa Dasmariñas. Maraming salamat po ulit sa CORSA Motorcycle Tires. End of the first, 26-20 in favor of the Benilde Blazers. Before we resume our second quarter, gusto lang naming banggitin that we're inviting everyone to our concert on November 12, Sunday sa Dasmariñas Arena with Nobita, Mayonnaise, and Al James. Tickets available from Ticket Melon via link or QR code and pwedeng mag-walk-in on the day itself. Just buy tickets sa venue. Concert tickets include finals tickets on November 11 and gates open at 3 p.m. So, hindi lang basketball, talagang pati music, entertainment hatid sa inyo ng Asiabasket. End of the first nga, 26-20. Benilde Blazers able to build this 6-point advantage. Trailed by 5 early in this early in this ball game, but able to find their rhythm and build this cushion against Shawarma Shack.
So far, the turnovers have been very bad for both teams. Shawarma Shack has 8 turnovers. Kaya medyo nakakalamang itong Benilde Blazers. But on the other hand, shooting has been a premium para sa dalawang team natin dito. Benilde is shooting 57%. On the other hand, Shawarma Shack shooting 60% overall from the field.
It's a very high percentage for this Blazers squad. And no, again, this is pretty much a high-scoring ball game, I would say. 26 points in the first quarter. If you are Shawarma Shack, you want not to allow itong Blazers to break this game open. Stick with it. Both teams undefeated so far. Nothing much separating them. As will be fouled on that jumper is Angelo Obuyes para sa Shawarma Shack. 2 free throws coming up for them. Meanwhile, we go to Enros for a report. Enros?
Following Chibuez Ike's early years in basketball, he was quick to acknowledge how his years under Coach Tab in Ateneo built a lifelong foundation in him. Up until today, he carries with him Coach Tab's attention to detail in whatever he's doing, may it be about basketball or not. Ike paid a visit recently to the current Ateneo Blue Eagle team to be a proof of a product of a good basketball system. He remembers that they had their struggles too during their time in the UAAP, but he hammers it down to the current players to have faith in the system. 10 years of living in the Philippines, Ike has his favorites, such as living in the province. He extends his best regards to Mr. Axter from Bacolod and Nick Bombales from Bicol. Hi, Nick. Coach Mark.
Thank you, Enros. And yun nga, Ike paying homage to his Blue Eagle squad. And ang tagal na rin pala niya dito sa Pilipinas. No? 10 years.
Matagal-tagal na din. I remember first time I saw Ike in Moro Lorenzo Sports, the gym. He was quite raw, to say the least, when he started out here in the Philippines.
Ike nga staple as well here in Filipino basketball. So Oli will miss on that three-pointer. Ordonio tracks it down. This is Liwag going up against Okpuru. Oli crashing the board. Add 2 more to his tally.
Again, so far, the three-point shot hasn't been there for the Benilde Blazers, but their sheer activity and the hustle on the offensive rebounds gets them another 2 points.
Athleticism here for the Blazers. Talagang napakataas. All these wings. High leapers. It's Ordonio able to get another transition basket here for Benilde.
That's a great pass by Ian Torres, threading the needle to Kobe Ordonio for that layup.
Si Ian Torres, makikita na rin natin ngayon, Coach Mark, talking about him earlier bago pa magsimula itong larong to. Also an Asiabasket veteran. To go with din nga, Inot, Justine Sanchez, and Ondoa, who's not playing for Benilde Blazers. As Akpuro gets that jumper to go, so showing us the touch from outside.
Akpuro. The game of Shawarma Shack really changed the pace when he stepped in. Mas mabilis na sila ngayon kasi kaya niya magdala ng bola. He can play make compared to having when Ike inside, medyo mas mabagal sila.
Ordonio, baseline jumper won't work. Si Bar throws it ahead to Matiliano. And he will drive, easy two.
That's poor defensive stance by Oli there. Trying to get the back tap, allowing Matiliano a straight lane to the basket.
5 points so far para kay Domark Matiliano. Sabi nga natin kanina, best player of the game in the two wins of Shawarma Shack. Leading the way and setting the tone here for their best start in Asiabasket. Benilde will set it up. Still leading by 5, 30-25. 6:50 remaining here in the first half. Ordonio kicks it out to Oli. Underneath to Sanchez. Too strong on that short stab. Shawarma Shack looking to cut this lead down once again. It's been hovering around 6 and 5. Wish to make it a single possession ball game once again. Matiliano to Asibar. Long jumper, that's short. Blazers looking to run Every time there's a miss. Sanchez with that familiar Pinoy step. Getting another 2 for the Blazers, 32-25, back to a 7-point lead.
So if James Castro has the spin move, Justin Sanchez has the Pinoy step. The move that he's really known for and makes a lot of money out of it.
Outside shot here para sa Shawarma Shack won't work for Domark Matellano. One and done for the white shirts. Blazers once again. Sanchez looking to attack. Will be fouled here for 2. So Justin Sanchez showing his aggression. A couple of possessions now. Getting that basket earlier this time. Will be fouled for his first trip to the line.
And that's the best way to counter any zone. You know, get stops, get out on the break, get those easy layups. Can't allow a zone to happen.
Take another look at that. CORSA motorcycle tires dominate the streets. 3-point shot of the game. Outside sniping, a premium here in Asiabasket. Opening a lot of things up for any team every time they get those 3-pointers down. Sanchez first free throw, that will work. Sporting those pink shoes. Can't help but not notice.
Hot pink shoes. So it's not hard to miss.
Splits on his charities though, short on that second. But able to extend this lead for the Blazers, 33-25. Ibanez. Strong to the hoop, unable to finish was Menges. Blazers babalik sa kabila. Inot goes to Sanchez. Fakes. Ike unable to finish underneath. Shawarma Shack naman ang tatakbo. James Castro to the middle. Ball is stolen here by Inot. Has a 4-on-2 to the corner. 3 ball. Too strong para kay Cometa. Inot though. Tira niya rin masyadong malakas. Ojuwala! Can't get that bounce. It's 2 free throws coming up for the import.
Oh, that's tough if you're Shawarma Shack. You had 3 white shirts inside against Emon Ojula. But Ojula still, with the grit, getting that offensive rebound and throwing out another foul.
In that interview earlier by Enros, dito nga kay Emon Ojula, no? Just trying to help itong team na to. Veterano na rin to in terms of college basketball and really showing us the maturity of usually kasi pag import, hindi, ikaw yung gumawa, ikaw yung inaasahan, no? Offensively, of course, with that rebounding, but not the case for the Benilde Blazers and Eman Ojola.
And that's what you want from your world import guy, like the veteran of the likes of Emon Ojula. He's there to help. No, he's not, he understands na hindi niya kailangan sumut. Hindi niya kailangan score ng 30 points, 25 rebounds. He just understands he has to play a role and play it well.
Not that he can't, right? I mean, we've
can't.
seen him dominate the interior for the teams that he played for before. As Alano able to escape. Gets a couple more, down to a 7-point lead once again. Blazers will rotate that basketball to Oli. 10 to shoot for the black shirts. Asking for that pick from Ojula. Kick out. Another 3-pointer for the Blazers. This time will work para kay Eusebio. His second 3-pointer now in this ball game.
Oh, that's the second 3-point shot overall then for the Blazers, 2 from Antonio Eusebio. They need more of that to really loosen up the zone defense of Shawarma Shack.
Little less than 4 minutes left in this ball game. A second opportunity para kay Alano off his own miss.
Oh, that's what Justin Alano is really known for. Inside scoring. He might not be the biggest guy, but he knows how to score in the post.
Oli wide open from the corner. That's off. Ojula gives him another chance. He will be fouled underneath here by Alano.
Oh, you see, Ojula's not really the tallest of all, world imports here in Asiabasket. But the way he gets possession on you, he pushes you under the basket, gets the offensive rebound.
So we look at that Inot block. Defensive play of the game brought to us by Decathlon. Suki kami dyan sa Decathlon.
Ako din.
So Oli Short stab, ayaw. Eusebio once again, another three. Make that three. 3-pointers now, all 3-pointers for the Blazers, courtesy of Eusebio. Blocked by Ujula. Inot on the other end to a streaking Oli. Looking to slam that down. But Menges able to foil that shot. Eusebio coming up with a steal. 4-on-1 for the Blazers. Inot to Eusebio for the finish.
That's a quick 8 points for Antonio Eusebio. Just checked in a couple minutes ago. But so far, he is the leading scorer for the Benilde Blazers.
42-29 now. 13-point advantage here for the Benilde Blazers. 2:37 left in our first half. Shawarma Shack turning the ball over again as Inot being that pest. Finishing on the other end, 15-point lead now for the Blazers.
Tony Inot doing it on both ends. As he said, being the pest on the ball, generating a turnover and finishing.
And no surprises there. We know Tony Inot, kung ikaw ang gwardya, knowing Tony Inot would be your defender in heading into this ball game, I'm sure not the name that you want to see. Eusebio will pull it back. Blazers will slow it down on their half-court set. Less than 2 minutes left here in the first half. Mostly been dominated by the Blazers, leading by 15, 44-29. Inot will try from outside, gets another three-pointer. Tony Inot and Eusebio opening that three-point arc here for the Benilde Blazers.
And that's a big deal because this is the last component that was missing from the offense of the Blazers. Their outside shooting.
Susubukong bumawi but unable to do so. Our Shawarma Shack, another three-pointer. Another conversion. This time Cometa, hawa-hawa na dito ang Benilde Blazers. It's now a 21-point lead, 50-29. A minute and 20 left in our second quarter. Timeout nga dito ang Shawarma Shack. As we have a look at our move of the game brought to you by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets. Tony Inot with that run nga by the Blazers. With a minute and 20 left in our first half. Benilde nga with this 21-point lead as we look at this three-point shot of the game brought to us by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets. Dominate has been the name of the game here for the Benilde Blazers, stretching their lead to now 21 big points.
And that's a 13-0 run by the Benilde Blazers, anchored by the three-point shooting of Eusebio and Cometa.
Sabi mo nga, yun na nga lang yung missing component for this Benilde Blazers. And if they are able to activate that, really a tall order for this Shawarma Shack team. And trying to keep that undefeated record so far, 2-0. Best start in Asiabasket. But at least for this first half, Benilde Blazers have been causing them a lot of trouble.
It's curious din for Shawarma Shack that they've been alternating itong si Domark Mataliano and James Castro at the shooting guard position. You know, you'd like to think that your two main guys can share the floor, you know, from time to time. Kasi nga, kailangan, lalo na ngayon, naghahabol sila. So, you know, you want your scorers on the floor and try to make a run here in the last minute.
Less than a minute left na nga lang in our second quarters. Kickball will be whistled here against James Castro. 16 seconds left on the shot clock. So we look at this drive of the game brought to us by Jabber Motocom. Make rides more fun. Yan ang dami nating sponsor dito sa Asiabasket. Really appreciate your support in our 2023 Asiabasket Dasmariñas Championship. Second three-pointer para kay Tony Inot. Talagang all cylinders clicking here para sa Benilde Blazers. 22-point lead now, 53-31. Have a chance to extend it once again. Ordonio would like to join the party. No go. Inot high for that offensive rebound. Add 2 more para kay Inot. Now with 14.
Kung nagtatanong kayo bakit why not ang tawag namin kay Tony Inot, I'm sure you all see the similarities between him and Russell Westbrook.
And ano ang moniker niya din ni Russell Westbrook?
Why not?
Why not? Hashtag why not? If you are kind of able to read yung name nito ni Tony Inot, the back of his jersey, you can argue that it's called Why Not Inot.
And it's very impressive how Tony Inot has really evolved as a basketball player. In his junior years sa San Beda high school program, he's more known for his attacking, straight line penetrations, but right now he's evolved into a more complete scorer. Nakita natin yung three-point shooting niya, his offensive rebounds, getting steals and getting layups. So it's great for his development.
Blocked there by Shawarma. Shakas Ibanez trying to beat the clock. Able to get that basket to go. As first half ends, 5-5 versus 3-3, a 22-point lead built by the Benilde Blazers. Coach Raiko Torman would definitely be happy with the performance of his team so far.
We're watching the CORSA Tires Asiabasket Dasmariñas Championship. Transferring for his third year in college in Benilde, Antonio Sebio finds interest in his new school's culture enough to make him comfortable with the team 5 months in. Basketball had an early start in Anton's life where as early as 5 years old, he had been dribbling the ball until he started joining competitions at 13. Interestingly, Anton is a hotel and restaurant management major. He is inspired by his mother from Pampanga who cooks good Pampangueño food, to which he confidently says he can cook anything. Hi, Mick, Coach Mark.
Thank you, and Ross. And interesting to hear that Pampanga food and Kapampangan, another great player coming from the Pampanga province, is Antonio Sebio of the Benilde Blazers, who are leading here 55-33 at the end of that first half. So look at some highlights from the first 2 quarters of action. It was just a 6-point lead, ending the first for the Benilde Blazers, but their outside shooting talagang nag-click dun sa ating second quarter, and isa nga sa mga rason kung bakit bigla silang umabante dito.
And that was the biggest missing piece for the offense itong Benilde Blazers. You know, their outside shooting. In the first game, they only shot 5 out of 37. And in this game, in one half, they've already made 6 out of 16. So they've surpassed in total nila from their first game, thanks in large part to the shooting of the aforementioned Antonio Sebio.
And some highlights that you were looking at, mostly from the Benilde Blazers. Shawarma Shack really struggling, especially in that second quarter, to put up some numbers. As we look at some statistics here, what stands out for you, Coach Mark?
Of course, the points from turnovers. The Blazers outscoring Shawarma Shack 22-8, and helped by the fast break points 21-4. You know, those 11 turnovers really na-convert ng Benilde Blazers. Almost 1 point per turnover, almost 2 points per turnover sa kalagayan na yan. 22 points off the turnovers. No, it just shows what the game plan is for the Benilde Blazers. It's really to get stops and get out on the break and utilize athletes like Tony Inot, who is leading them in scoring with 17 points, and Emon Ojula holding down the fort against 2 world imports in Chibuese Ike and Ike Akpuru.
Hindi pa kinumpleto ni Tony Inot itong lahat ng ating statistics so far. Eman Ujola with 6 rebounds. The only category where Tony Inot is not the leader here for the Benilde Blazers, but really showing us that all-around performance so far para kay Tony Inot. Meantime, we'll take a short break. Babalik po tayo with more Asia Basket. Action resumes dito sa ating 2023 Asiabasket Dasmariñas Championship, brought to you by CORSA Tires. A 22-point advantage for the Benilde Blazers against Shawarma Shack. The Benilde nga using that strong second quarter, and they are still mainit pa rin. Tony Inot specifically now with 20.
Again, the transition defense for Shawarma Shack has to be better dito sa second half. Something that really let them down and allowed the Benilde Blazers to get out to that 22-point halftime lead.
Kick out to Matiliano. Three-pointer won't go. And yung leading scorers nga here for both teams visibly absent is Domark Matiliano for Shawarma Shack after being their leading scorer in both their victories so far in this tournament.
No, Mataliano only played 9 minutes in first half natin. Leading the way is this James Castro, finishing over contact with Emon Ojula.
Castro and Matiliano nga, sabi mo kanina, you would look to have them both together and also being on the same page. Ito na pagbigyan ka na, Coach Mark. Was able to get that. And one is Antonio Eusebio, who Enros reported earlier, mabilis, naging komportable dito sa paglipat niya sa Benilde.
Oh, Eusebio, I guess if you want to call it unfortunate, came off the bench sa UP Fighting Maroons because guys like Xavier Rosero and Carl Tamayo were in front of him. So, magkakabatchan sila, and maybe Antonio Eusebio felt like he had a better opportunity here with the Benilde Blazers, and he's showing why he was one of the highly touted recruits early on for the UP Fighting Maroons.
As Castro gets another basket, really trying to find his rhythm here in their attempt to make a comeback from this 23-point deficit, 62-37, still in favor of the Blazers.
Well, they can't afford to trade baskets, talking about Shawarma Shack, and they're allowing open shots like this to Ancheta.
Couple of three-pointers na nga pinupukol dito ng Benilde Blazers. That missing link really hasn't been, hindi na naging absent mula nung nahanap nila yung range nila from outside.
Oh, it started with Antonio Eusebio, and then Tony Inot picked it up. And now, the rest of the Blazers starting to find their rhythm from the outside.
Biggest lead so far at 26, 63-37. Close to 8 minutes left here in the third quarter. As Ike gets that basket underneath against Ojula. And one at that. Chopping this lead to 24.
Oh, that's great creation coming from Domark Matiliano with the no-look pass down to Chibueze Ike. Finally finishes inside the paint.
Ike still unable to get his output in this ball game so far, and I guess credit din to the Blazers really negating itong world imports ng Shawarma Shack so far.
And Ojula's really taking it upon himself to match up well against the world imports of Shawarma Shack.
10 to shoot for the Blazers. This is Eusebio once again. Attacking this time, unable to get that finger roll. He gets the rebound, but throws it away. Ball goes back to Shawarma Shack.
Nadulas sa kamay ni Antonio Eusebio. But one thing again, with Shawarma Shack, we see Matiliano and Castro on the floor at the same time. They can also play both Ikes, Chibueze Ike and Ike Akpuro, together on the floor, and that's within the rules. We've seen the Dasmariñas Monarch play Mike Harry and Hamadu Lamido together. So that's one, I guess, iteration of the lineup that the coaching staff of Shawarma Shack has yet to utilize.
Shawarma Shack looking at this 23-point deficit. Foul will be whistled here against the Blazers. It's Oli getting called for that foul. His second personal so far in this game. 14-second shot clock here para sa Shawarma Shack. Inbounding from the baseline. They go to Ike. Looking for Matiliano. His knee would be hit. I think a knee-to-knee collision here with Ike and Oli. And mukhang Ike kind of getting the worst of that contact.
And hopefully it's just knee-to-knee thing and nothing more serious for Ike. Right there, sumabit si Oli on the left knee of Ike, trying to fight off that screen.
Nahabol niya nga itong si Matiliano. Coming off that screen. So, mukhang ipapagpag lang ito ni Ike. No substitutions just yet. Still trying to shake it off.
Those things are no fun. I can speak from experience. Collisions like that are no fun at all.
And here action resumes. Montilla will inbound it for Shawarma Shack with 14 left on their shot clock. Losing that Ike pick. And looking for Castro. They find Castro. 6 points so far para kay James Castro here in the third quarter. So offense waking up.
No, offense is waking up, but the defense has to do a better job containing Tony Inot and Justin Sanchez and Emon Ujula.
15 points so far para kay James Castro. Blazers have 7 to shoot. This is Inot. Goes to Ollie inside. Too strong. Rebound tracked down by Inot. Layup would miss. Instead has a chance to earn it from the stripe.
Tony Inot faked out everyone. They all thought magpa-floater siya with his right, opting for a left-hand finger roll instead.
We were looking at the game leaders earlier prior to the third quarter resuming, and Tony Inot leading all but one of the categories here for the Blazers in terms of points, rebounds, and assists. And actually, sabi mo nga, you pointed it out, Coach Mark, that he's actually tied for that game leader sa rebound with Eman Ujula at the end of the first 2 quarters.
So technically, pwede nating sabihin that Tony Inot is leading the Blazers in all significant statistical categories in this game.
Ang reference nga natin dito is Russell Westbrook. Why not Brody?
Pasok na pasok lalo.
Exactly. As Castro will be whistled for an offensive foul. And, visibly upset with that call.
And coaching staff of Shawarma Shack are asking for a replay there. Non-conclusive from that angle. If Castro did hit Oli, but regardless, the referees have called an offensive foul.
It did happen right in front of our officials. They deemed offensive foul nga. Dapat itawag doon against James Castro. Still a 23-point lead here for the Benilde Blazers, 65-42. Oli will try from outside that short. Offensive rebound para sa Blazers. They go to Sanchez. Keta now, 7 to shoot. He pulls up for 3. Make that a long 2, according to our officials. Nevertheless, extending this lead to a 25-point advantage once again.
No, Shawarma Shack really has to do a better job getting those offensive rebounds. So they're shooting themselves in the foot by allowing multiple opportunities for the Blazers.
Looking for Castro once again. Ike decides to put up that 3-pointer. Will miss. They go to Anqueta, wide open for another 3-ball. Dodge the bullet for Shawarma Shack in that instance. Go to James Castro now. Hanggang si James Castro ang one-man show dito para sa Shawarma Shack in the second half.
Oh, it's just been James Castro. And conspicuously quiet is Domark Matellano with only 5 points.
A lot to be expected nga from Domark Matellano after being the best player of the game for their first 2 victories. As Tony Inot continuing his hot shooting with another 3-pointer here in the third quarter. 26 points na naman ang kalamangan dito ng Benilde.
Again, hindi pwedeng makipagpalitan lamang itong Shawarma Shack because they are down big. They need to get stops and a lot of stops and conversions.
This is Matellano, maiipit. But a foul will be called here against the Blazers. Not yet in the penalty are the Benilde Blazers. Still 4:51 left here in the third quarter. As we have a look at this 3-point shot of the game brought to you by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets.
And that is the 9th 3-point shot for the Benilde Blazers. No, if Benilde continues to shoot like this for the rest of the tournament, then they go from favorites, preseason favorites, to current favorites to win the championship.
Something that the other teams would have to look out for. That missing component. They're able to find it here in this matchup between them and the Shawarma Shack. James Castro once again. Trying to elude all his defense. Attacking the hoop. Another foul will be whistled here against the Blazers.
James Castro manufacturing something out of nothing, and that's what he does best. You know, with the Bataan Risers, he was one of the leading scorers for that team, and he was very adept at finding small gaps and exploiting it. And as you see, as you saw, he posted up his smaller guard and saw that sliver na opening in between the help, finding a way to get to the free throw line.
Castro hits the first free throw. Continuing his offensive onslaught here in the third quarter. 18 points so far para kay James Castro. Able to hit the second. 70-45. Shawarma Shack with this 25-point deficit. Still long to go sa ating third quarter. And one more full quarter to go. But the Shawarma Shack nga, sabi mo, they cannot afford to just trade baskets here for the Blazers. Almost a turnover though for Benilde. That's Justine Sanchez. Given continuation, gets another and one. Bonus free throw coming up para kay Justine Sanchez. Extending his lead to 27.
Again, Shawarma Shack giving up multiple opportunities. So you see Justin Sanchez getting hit. Eyes on the rim. Great concentration for him. And going back to my point, you know, initially they're getting stops, pero they're giving up second, third chance opportunities for the Blazers, and the Blazers are making sure that they don't miss again.
Justine Sanchez hits that bonus free throw, completing that three-point play. Biggest lead now, 28 points for the Blazers. Almost coming up with that steal. Matiliano crosses the timeline right on time, hanging in the air. Able to finish against Liwag. Cometa now will run it for the Blazers. Another three-pointer wide open, and able to convert there was Torres. Shawarma Shack goes to Akpuru. Finds James Castro inside. His pass to Alano. Able to control that leather. Cometa will try. Gets another three-pointer for the Blazers. Unlimited three-pointers here for the Blazers in this ball game.
Well, last time we saw Gab Cometa is doing the same thing for a different team. The San Beda Red Lions match a team in Kuala Lumpur.
31 points now. Breaking that 30-point lead barrier are the Benilde Blazers. Really pouring it on here against the undefeated Shawarma Shack. Sakpuro able to fool Liwag in that instance. Fished for that foul. He will head to the line for a couple. So take a look at this assist of the game. Courtesy of Fiber Blaze. Support local. Nothing beats local. Puro first free throw is short. So even the opportunities that they're getting from the line, talagang hindi rin nakaka-capitalize itong Shawarma Shack.
Oh, Shawarma Shack came out with minimal energy dito sa second half natin. Wala masyadong sense of urgency pagdating sa start nila. So that's why they've been ending up just exchanging baskets with the Benilde Blazers. But so far, the Blazers have been pouring it on offensively.
Meanwhile, we head to Enros for another report. Enros?
Starting their Asiabasket run with a win and now leading against their opponent, Coach Raiko Toroman says that their goal is to improve day by day. His team is composed of a young team, which he is ready to mold a great future. Coach Raiko has been making his mark in the Philippine basketball scene as one of the first coaches of Gilas, later on coaching for Indonesia in the SEA Games in 2022. Regardless of being the oldest coach in the tournament, his 35 years of coaching experience makes him confident that he can still compete with the young guns. Respect the system and do less isolation. Jaime, Coach Mark.
Of course, Coach Raiko Toroman nga. Coach Mark, talagang staple na rin dito sa ating local basketball scene. We know what he was able to do with that initial Gilas squad and the success that they also had. The system that he ran for the Gilas program for a number of years. And, looking to get that experience to this young Benilde Blazer squad. Torres gets his first two of this ball game off that find by Liwag.
And that back cut coming off that back pick has been open a few times now for the Benilde Blazers. Just now seeing that, an excellent pass from Liwag.
Shawarma Shack still trailing by a big 31 points. Parang nahihirapan sila dito against the Benilde Blazers, but that might just start something here for Shawarma Shack. Si Banyes hits a three-pointer.
One of their rare outside shots for Shawarma Shack. Right now, that's only their second three-point shot. Three-point made.
It's a steal here para kay Alano, but unable to finish on the other end. Liwag will run it. Kick out to Cometa. Another three-pointer. That one rattles out, but there to clean it up was Edson Serrano for the Blazers. So let's see what the officials will be calling here.
Oh, just a delay of game on Alan Liwag tapping the ball outside. After that made basket by Edson Serrano. Serrano doing a great job. You know, not giving up on the play, getting that offensive rebound.
Kita mo naman, if you're not gonna look at the score and the effort that this Benilde Blazers squad is still putting in this ball game, parang sila pa nga yung naghahabol.
Parang sila pa yung may sense of urgency lumalabas.
James Castro. Cross court. Ibanez, another three-pointer. That won't go. Blazers once again looking to add to their lead. Push shot. That's off. Shawarma Shack has another opportunity. Just a minute and 12 left here in our third quarter. Nice attack to the hoop. Coming from Obuyes.
That's an aspect of their offense that they haven't really utilized. Getting out on the fast break. Puro can really put the ball on the floor and find teammates.
Yung luxury nga na yun, no? Okpuro, after getting that rebound, able to run it, lead their transition. They get a turnover here. Go back to Okpuro. To the post to James Castro. Create for himself. Shot too strong. Okpuro goes to Alano. Trying to carve his way inside. Okpuro with a jumper. Too strong. About a 5-second shot clock and game clock difference. Ordonio calls his own number. Probably looking for that 2-for-1. But will miss on that straightaway three. Last shot time for the Shawarma Shack. If they wish to. Ibanez with 9 seconds. Attack Serrano. Goes to James Castro. Just 3 seconds left in the third quarter. Kick out, Ibanez. This will count if it goes. That three-pointer would miss para sa Shawarma Shack. Sila 28-point lead here for the Benilde Blazers at the end of 3 quarters. Benilde really not allowing itong Shawarma Shack to get any confidence heading into the fourth.
It's been a lot of the same for the Benilde Blazers this quarter. Outside shots have been falling. Transition attacks have been there. You see that N1 opportunity from Justin Sanchez. So it's been the same formula in first half. Just getting it over dito sa third quarter natin. It's a long road back for Shawarma Shack. But again, we've seen stranger things happen in basketball.
80-52, we'll be back with more Asia Basket. Before we resume our fourth quarter, we have a look at this Dasmariñas Arena crowd enjoying the action this afternoon. And these fans of the game brought to us by CORSA Motorcycle Tires dominate the streets. Parang paulit-ulit na tayo dito, Coach Mark, in terms of the Benilde Blazers' performance in this game against Shawarma Shack. Talagang dominance, especially after that first quarter.
Oh, it's been an almost perfect game for Coach Raiko Toroman and his squad. We'll see if they can finish it out well. I'm sure Coach Raiko is still watching over them, making sure they do the right things despite this huge lead.
It's 5 to shoot. Cometa will try from outside, rattles out. Ikaw ang Shawarma Shack, is it, just too much Benilde Blazers, or what did you find lacking dito sa mga nakaputi in the second and third quarter specifically?
Well, number one, their transition defense was a big letdown for them. They allowed Benilde to really get out on the fast break. They even scored, I think, in double figures in terms of fast break points first half pa lang. So that really enabled the Blazers to not only get easy layups, but those open threes in transition, and nagkakumpiyansa sila dahil dun. And our referees are signaling a sportsmanlike foul on someone. I think somebody from Shawarma Shack.
Seems to be Kenneth Asibar committing that unsportsmanlike foul.
Right there. When coaches say bump the cutter, hindi naman po ganun, mga bata.
I like the reaction there by Cometa. No? Parang ininda niya lang yung siko na yun. Hindi hits that first free throw off that unsportsmanlike foul nga from Ken Asibar. Hits 2 of 2. Extending this lead once again to 28 points for the Benilde Blazers.
Now, it's important then for Shawarma Shack, especially when, when this game is done and dusted with, to move on quick. Kasi may isa pa silang laro.
Si Liwag naman sasama na rin dito sa 3-point party ng Benilde Blazers. Talagang siguro ang tanong na lang dito, who among the Blazers won't be able to hit a 3-pointer tonight the way they're shooting? Asibar bumping his way through, will be blocked. Goes to Gabawan underneath. That time, nice assist coming from Asibar.
Good job of Ken Asibar not giving up on the play despite getting blocked. Finding Jamil Gabawan for the open layup.
Veterano na rin to si Asibar, no? Hindi mo na siya mawawala yung composure niya after getting blocked. Big block at that. Behind the back, a bit too fancy para kay Liwag in that instance.
I'm looking over at Coach Raiko after that behind the back pass by Allen Liwag.
So we look at this defensive play of the game brought to us by Decathlon.
Napatingin na lang sa malayo si Coach Raiko pagkatapos ng pasa ni Allen Liwag.
I guess some room for those types of error. Benilde Blazers still enjoying this 27-point advantage against the Shawarma Shack with 8 minutes left here in our ball game. This is the battle of undefeated teams. 2-0 coming into this ball game is the Shawarma Shack. Samantalang the first assignment for the Blazers also a success against the Dasmariñas Monarchs, who we would be seeing immediately after this ball game going up against the Phuket Waves. As Gabawan will be called for that personal. Talagang itong Shawarma Shack unable to really get kind of string some points. Kahit make a run that would make the Blazers react kahit papano no? But it really has been the Blazers in the driver's seat after taking that 6-point lead at the end of the first quarter. Was still close. The second quarter, talagang dun bumitaw itong Blazers and they haven't looked back since. Liwag will miss underneath. Couple of sorry misses. Almost another end one for the Blazers. This time it's Vanguardia heading to the line.
And that play in itself has been, I guess, the summary for the Shawarma Shack in our game tonight. That ball was on its way outside. Obuyes was already there. He could have opted to sprint a little harder and get that loose ball. But instead, Kobe Ordonio ended up saving it straight up to Allen Liwag, who unfortunately missed the layup. But again, Vanguardia was there to clean it up.
You're the coach of the Blazers. Well, Coach Raiko Toroman and the rest of the coaching staff of the Blazers. You just really love the effort your guys are putting in. you could relax just a
Yeah,
little bit, you
of
know.
course.
7 minutes remaining, and this is, you know, a 27-point advantage para sa'yo. But you don't really want to build those bad habits, especially trying to, you know, build a great foundation here for the Benilde Blazers.
And not only that, they're not just trying to win the championship here, but as we said, that these kids are going to be the core of the Benilde Blazers come NCAA season 100. So it's going to be important for their development, you know, not to get or pick up these bad habits, especially in games like these na up ka 27 points in the fourth quarter.
So double foul seems to be signaled here by our officials. Let's have another look. I think Liwag and Asibar.
Oh, right there. Love taps.
Serrano rather and Asibar. Figuring on that love tapping incident.
It's Ken Asibar giving love to the young guns of the Benilde Blazers.
And safe to say they have felt the love from Ken Asibar, especially here in the fourth quarter. Still 6:53 in our fourth quarter. Baliktaran tayo dito, 85-58. 27-point lead still being enjoyed here by the Benilde Blazers. Inside, Liwag add another 2. It really has been the theme nga, napakadali ng puntos dito para sa Benilde.
And the execution has been on point for the Benilde Blazers. Primarily because their movement has been a lot quicker than itong personal movement ng Shawarma Shack. As we see the attack by Angelo Obuyes there.
Obuyes will have a chance to chop this lead from the stripe. You know, we talked about Benilde really not showing that, I mean, playing like they are up big. Obuyes din naman, also not hanging his head, still trying to put Shawarma Shack in a position, maybe not to complete a comeback, but something positive that they can carry over for the rest of the tournament. And yung 2-0 start nga nila is something that they would like to build on and maybe head into the quarterfinals. And who knows, di ba? Magkaroon ng panalo in that playoff picture. Find themselves in a position to win the championship, possibly.
And Ken Asibar with another love tap to Edson Serrano and gets called for another foul, and I think that's his 5th. That's it for Ken Asibar. A short night on the floor.
A short night, but yung pagmamahal na naiwan niya sa court, hindi nagkulang.
Hindi nagkulang.
Yes, we see Serrano, the recipient of all that love from Ken Asibar, has a chance to get a couple of free throws.
And I don't know if our viewers can see this. And I'm looking at Angelo Obuyes. Obuyes, of course, a familiar name. He played for Sanzar Pharmaceuticals in the Las Piñas Championships. But it's not that. It's the socks or lack thereof sa sapatos niya. How very 90s of Angelo Obuyes with the no-show socks. The last person I remember who is still kind of doing it right now is Alan Mahas.
Interesting, no? Parang look mom, no socks.
Ganyan din ako dati nung bata ako eh.
So ngayon nag-show socks ka na, Coach Mark. Yeah? Blazers still with this 31-point lead, make that 34. 33 rather, after that find from Liwag. Close to halfway through our fourth quarter. Gubawan. Turn around Jay. That's off. Alano cleans it up.
No, good job by Justin Alano. Again, just fighting for that offensive rebound and putting that in.
Cañete in for the Blazers. First time in this ball game. Ganun din kalalim itong Blazer squad, no? Parang familiar names all around, regardless of who they put in. A short stab won't work para kay Liwag. Opportunity here for Shawarma Shack. Chop the lead down once again. Turnover though. Cañete recovers that basketball. Goes to Ian Torres. Pass ahead to Serrano. Wala nang choice si Gubawan doon but to give up that foul.
Again, that the offense, especially transition offense for the Benilde Blazers, something they've been emphasizing the whole game. You see the foul there by Jamil Gabawan. No choice nga, tulad na sabi mo, kasi open layup na naman para kay Serrano. And then that was going to be open because of a great forward pass by Ian Torres.
Serrano talagang parang paboritong mahalin dito ng Shawarma Shack, giving him a lot of those, I guess, physical shows of affection. Serrano will be able to hit that first. Make that 2 for 2. A sweet touch for the big man of the Benilde Blazers.
And he's quite the project as well for the Benilde Blazers. He's a good, 6'4", 6'5". He's shown a soft touch and a lot of athleticism for his position. So again, one of those mga hidden gems para dito sa Benilde Blazers na hindi siya household name tulad nila Kobe Ordonio or Allen Liwag, Justin Sanchez or Tony Inot. But you know, he's going to be a big piece of that Benilde Blazers program moving forward.
And if I may add, Coach Mark, no, yung toughness and I guess yung kanyang disiplina, not reacting to the contact that he's been getting from the veterans nga of Shawarma Shack. It's Benilde looking to set it up. Still enjoying this 33-point lead. Kobe Ordonio make that 36 points now. Nearing the century mark are the Benilde Blazers. At talagang taking their foot off the gas are the guys in black. Ito naman ang Shawarma Shack. Parang gusto mo na lang talagang ma-fast forward tong last 4 and 3 of this ball game. Kasi really, talagang tong Blazers, everything going right for them. And if you're Shawarma Shack, talagang not much to take away in terms of positives this particular game for them.
Oh, I guess the last thing you can ask for is for everybody to finish this game healthy. You know, wala nang untoward injuries or anything like that, especially in a game that's essentially done and dusted with 3 minutes 50 seconds left. And that's a hard foul. Right there, I think that's Menguez.
Yep, Menguez giving that up. So if Asibar was the one showing love earlier, kaso maaga nga natapos ang round nito ni Ken Asibar with those 5 personals. Seems like there's still love to be given around here, courtesy of Menguez.
And looks like the officials will have to review that call because yung love tap nga ni Chris Menguez was above the shoulder.
So officials reviewing if that would be upgraded to an unsportsmanlike foul.
And this is a great chance also for the end of the bench for the Benilde Blazers to really show what they have. You know, rare opportunity, especially if you're team B guy. Diba, minsan ka lang makalaro, televised pa, maraming nanonood, you're going up against pros. So this is a great chance for you to really show Coach Raiko and the rest of the coaching staff that he can contribute. You know, he can bring something to the table for your team.
Yung baka mag-audition ka nga that you maybe get some minutes in their future games. And sabi mo nga, this is the core of their team that they would want to plug into the next NCAA season. And if you are kind of deep on that bench at the moment, showing signs of your production in these types of situations would prove to be your best way. Yep. So it has been upgraded now to an unsportsmanlike foul. Jeric Cañete, the recipient of that foul nga, coming from Menguez. They will shoot for 2 free throws.
Bionic elbow yung nangyari dun. A dusty elbow by Chris Menguez to the shoulders of Cañete.
Cañete splits on those charities. Miami 7-60 now, 37-point lead for the Blazers. I believe their biggest so far in this ball game.
And a technical foul on the head coach of the Shawarma Shack.
Talagang adding to their woes. Shawarma Shack maybe not really agreeing on the upgrade to an unsportsmanlike foul. But as we saw in that replay,
Clear as day.
it's above the shoulders. That elbow received by Jeric Cañete. This time it's Lim, assigned to hit this technical free throw for the Benilde Blazers.
You don't want to finish a game like this if you're Shawarma shop. You know, you're getting multiple flagrant fouls and now a technical foul. That's not really reflective of how hard they've been playing the whole tournament long so far. And this is not the kind of stuff that you want to carry over to your next few games. Kasi nga, even if they lose, they're still 2-1 and they still have one more game. And if they win that, essentially they can lock up a spot in the next round.
As Lim hits that technical free throw. 98-60 now. So just a couple of points away from the century mark are the Benilde Blazers. And sabi mo nga, Coach Mark, if you are Shawarma Shack, you just really want to make sure that you're not picking up anything negative heading into that fourth ball game. You're still in the winning column, 2-1. Still in a position nga to advance in the playoffs. Make a run for yourself. Missing on that three-pointer was Galas for the Blazers. Ball goes back to the Shawarma Shack with 3:40 left in our ball game. Pero if ikaw nga naman dito ang Benilde Blazers and the role players that have been plugged in for the last few minutes of this game, you also wouldn't want to get anything that might even parang masabi sa'yo na talagang mababaon ka dun sa kanilang bench. Ang gusto mo dito, you would want to prove that you can get more minutes in the rotation.
And of course, you want to finish this game healthy. Kasi nga, Blazers still have 2 more games dito sa elimination phase natin.
They are just in their second game of this tournament. Ating 2023 CORSA Tires Asiabasket Dasmariñas Championship. They would likely stay undefeated with this impending victory, starting their season 2-0 as Menguez hits that three-pointer for Shawarma Shack. Not a lot of three-pointers able to be converted here by Shawarma Shack, something that maybe they could look at in their future games. It has been that main weapon naman sa kabila for the Benilde Blazers.
And you're looking at their assist totals. Shawarma Shack only has 14 assists, thanks to part by a lot of one-on-one plays by their stars, James Castro and Domark Mataliano. On the other end, that is assist number 27 for the Benilde Blazers.
Talagang yung sistema dito ni Coach Raiko, perfectly executed by the Blazers in this battle of undefeated teams against Shawarma Shack. As Guevara adds 2 more. Last 2 minutes na nga tayo dito. And this is last 2 minutes is brought to us by Grab Kitchen. Nagamit mo na rin malamang yan, Coach Mark. No?
One too many times.
The Blazers have 6 to shoot. Lim was able to hit that three-pointer earlier. Goes inside, unable to convert. There is Galas, but will head to the line for another set of free throws here for Benilde.
And you see, even with a huge lead, itong Benilde Blazers still executing to the best of their ability, despite the huge 34-point lead. You know, they're still following their sets. They're still finding the right men open. And Galas, recipient of a great pass from Lim.
And as Coach Mark, despite this huge disparity in terms of our scoreline, yun din ba yung message that you would want to put to your team? Execute pa rin tayo, huwag tayo mag one-on-one basketball, huwag tayo magkanya-kanya. There's still run your set still despite the score, despite the time.
Of course, especially with a coach like Coach Raiko Toroman, the number one thing that he wants to instill there is the discipline. Na kahit anong mangyari, there are things that we need to do, and these things we need to do well, always.
Dito naman sa kabila for Shawarma Shack, this is really kind of a Shawarma shock para sa kanila with this big deficit against the Benilde Blazers. Still have a game to go. Sabi nga natin kanina, they would likely find themselves in the playoffs. what would you be looking for them in their future games in order for them to avoid getting into this type of hole?
Well, number one, it's going to be their transition defense. They've been caught lacking in transition because the young legs nitong Benilde Blazers really got out very often in transition.
So this is just game number 3 of a 4-game slate natin sa inyo ng Asiabasket this Sunday mula sa Dasmariñas Arena in Cavite. As Lim adds 2 more, 105-69. The execution nga talaga dito ng Blazers up to the final buzzer being performed here by the black shirts. Akpuro and Ike really, kind of not their usual numbers or not their usual selves in this ball game. Back to the drawing board for Shawarma Shack. Not all is lost. This still 2-on-1 after this ball game ang Shawarma Shack, and will move to 2-0 itong Benilde Blazers in our Asiabasket tournament so far. Who knows? They just might meet each other down the road.
Again, it's still have a ways to go in terms of this tournament. So, Shawarma Shack has to refocus quick for their next game kung gusto nila mag-bounce back na maaga.
Ang final scoring nga natin, 105-71, a 34-point victory for the Benilde Blazers. Led by just 6 at the end of that first quarter. Turned it on the second. Poured it even more in the second half. Umabot nga ng 38 points ang kanilang kalamangan at 1 point. They will end this ball game with this 34-point victory, moving to 2-0 so far in this tournament. Samantalang ang Shawarma Shack nga will get their first loss. Best start so far in the Asiabasket, but I guess not their best ball game here against Benilde.
Definitely not the game they were envisioning coming into this matchup with the Benilde Blazers, especially knowing that they had the #1 seed almost locked up. Pero yun nga, falling today, they dropped to 2-1. But again, if they win their next game, they could still go #2 in their bracket, just behind maybe the Benilde Blazers.
Benilde Blazers nga showing why they are one of the pre-tournament favorites as we move to Enros for an interview. Go ahead, Enros.
Kasama ko ngayon, Tony Inot from the Benilde Blazers. Tony, kahit sa unang half pa lang ng game, you guys were leading. Ano ba yung puwersang nanaig sa inyo all throughout this game?
Yun nga, kasi maganda naman nilalaro sa mga teammates ko. Tapos na-execute namin yung mga plays at saka yung defense namin talaga binigay namin. At yung bawat isa sa amin binigay yung best para sa laro na ngayon.
Tony, ano ba yung signature Tony Inot style na palaging nagre-resulta ng POG?
Yun lang. Kasi every game talaga binibigay ko best ko eh. Para, yun nga, para mag-improve din ako, para matuto din ako sa mga every game.
Tony, gusto mong batiin?
Una-una, thank God. Binabati ko din yung CSB community, kay Boss Frank, Boss Bong, Boss Jarvis, sa Team Davao, sa mama ko, sana maka-full recovery ka na, at sa papa ko sa Cebu, mga Inot family, Morales family, Maglangit family, and sa lahat sumusuporta sa akin, salamat at ingat kayo palagi.
Tony, congratulations sa inyo. Balik muna sa inyo. Jaime, Coach Mark.
Thank you, Enros, and congratulations once again to Tony Inot, our CORSA Tires best player of the game. Of course, that player of the game brought to us by CORSA Motorcycle Tires. Dominate the streets. Coming up next, the Phuket Waves will go up against the hometown team, Dasmariñas Monarchs, for game number 4 of this Sunday night. Very exciting matchup para dito sa dalawang koponan na to, Coach Mark. Of course, Dasmariñas, very important for them to avoid coming into that 0-3 hole. And Phuket would want to make their waves in this tournament.
Both teams searching for their first win. More pressure in Dasmariñas just because they're the home team. Kailangan nilang manalo today in Phuket, trying to stay alive in the tournament.
Look at some highlights in that ball game. Talagang dominated as the name of our sponsor dito sa Asiabasket. Dominating the streets, dominating the court was the Benilde Blazers. And that's it for game number 3. The Benilde nga winning big. Up next, Dasmariñas and Phuket. Magpapaalam lang kami saglit ni Coach Mark Dandan. We'll be back with more Asiabasket.